Hello and welcome to Fancy Geeks. You join us today for an unboxing of Necromunda. These are the Forge World Necromunda models. Just a few of the ones that I've been picking up over time and I've been meaning to open, and I kept promising on the channel I was going to open them and people have asked. So today, finally got around to actually having a look at these and opening them up. So the ones we're going to be doing today, we have Bigby Crumb, the rattling slopper. I'm going to say halfling rattling. We have Ragnar Gunstein, the squat dramas personae, Ammerjack. Cool, so that's a squat. We also have the Rogue Doc and Gang Lookout. There we go. We'll have a look at them as well. And then we've got the Necromunda Hard Guns. So there should be 3 models in this box, I hope. I've not looked yet, so I'll be surprised. I've had it for a while. So what we're going to do is, as with all resin models, it's best to clean them off first, just to make sure there's no oil or dust or any particulates left over. So we're going to open these up. I'm going to take off all the sprues. We're going to give them a wash. So we'll have a look at them one at a time. Start with Ragnar. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut these open off camera, so you don't see me struggling for half an hour with each of these, and then we'll get on with this. Okay, so Ragnar first. So we've got a little sprue there with his head on. We have, I think they're the ammo crates. That's his backpack and a further ammo crate. And there's his body. That's a little bit oily. And then we have the arms. They feel a bit oily as well. One of the reasons why we wash it. Because they all can also stop the glue as well as the paint from adhering. So we want to wash them before we glue them together. So that's him. Next we have the Bigby Crumb, and this thing actually fell in half. That's why this looks really neat compared to the other one. So we've got the body though. And we've got that's the actual pot. That's the gunk inside the pot. There's actually a shoe in there. That's what that is. We have ladle, funny word, ladle, and we have a tentacle, and that's his head. Although I think that may have, oh, come here. I think there should be a hand on that sprue as well with a stub gun. It appears to have fallen off there, which is no problem. And then we have the base and the lid for the pot. Oh, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of detail on that. Guess I probably won't stick that on though. And then we have the base. Next we have the Rogue Doc and a Lookout. Now this looks like the Doc's head and medical spray gun, whatever that is, and Bionic Arm. And then we have, I guess that's the Lookout stuff. Didn't realise they're axe. And we have, that's the Doc's body. And then we have the Lookout. Finishing some legs for the Doc. There we go. And the 2 bases. So that's those 3, and then we have this box. So let's move them back a bit. So far all the parts seem to be here. Got a little booklet in that. Alright, so we've got the cards here. One of the reasons you don't destroy these is the card should be in the on any of the blister packs or clone packs, yeah. And you've got that little thing there you can stick inside or laminate, stick inside like a card holder or laminate it, and that can be used for the model as well as the instructions. So on this one we've actually got the rules in there, even though they come in some of the books as well. Can't remember which one of these are in. Yeah, it's got the actual named person there. You can just cut these out and then either laminate them and put them in a card holder again. Quite a big card holder you need though. Right, so that's cool, and you've got the instructions on the back. So keeping the sellotape. There we go. Okay, so it's really cool. Oh, wow. I think that is. That's her knife, and that's a knife for one of the others. And then we have this guy. Oh, we look forward to painting these. They're awesome. All of them are. And then we have this guy. Just take that out. We've got the gun. Yeah, we've got all the parts. Great. We've got this stick stabby thing, and then we've got the shotgun. I think it's a shotgun. Looks like a shotgun to me. So it's like, yes, we have all of the parts. So if you've never worked with resin, it's quite soft. You see there, that bends quite easily. It's soft, and you just use a pair of clippers and take these off. When you do it though, do it slowly, and make sure that if you've got a part like that, you see that second part just snapped off. Things will snap off. So if you have anything delicate, I'd hope that wasn't delicate. It isn't. That's good. Go with the smaller bit first, and then move on to the larger bits. Because what I would have risked doing then, if that heel had been any more delicate, that heel could have snapped off at the top. It's not a big problem because it's usually a clean break. It's just faffier because you kind of got to cut that off, glue that on, and you end up with more parts to glue together basically. So we're going to take off all these little stands. I'm going to go over, clean off any little bits of, I don't know what it's called on resin, like flash, bits of mould, line where it's run a bit, anything that needs to come off. There's also these little tiny little bits there. Again, you're best probably taking a knife to those. Some of them will come off, and just make sure they're not attached to anything that is sort of delicate. When you come to stuff like this, for instance, your best bet is to just cut that off there first. That's just like a holding line, and then you can cut it off from the base like that, and then get rid of any little bits. Again, you're probably best using a knife for these ones, not the clippers, but unless it's really pronounced like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and clean all these up. Then what I'm going to do is bathe them in soapy water, warm water, to get off any of the oil and any of the dust. There's definitely oil on them because some of them are shiny and oily. Not really seeing any resin dust, and not really seeing any like bits of mould or anything trapped in there either. Sometimes we'll get little deformations on there, and you'll find little bits of like mould. On some models it's like pink, sometimes it's blue. You've got to dig that out and flatten it off, and it could cause other problems as well. but these all look pretty clean as far as that's concerned. So it's just a case of making sure there's no oil left on them. So I'm going to go ahead, bathe these, and then we'll come back and we'll assemble. Okay, now we've cleaned all these up. We've let them be washed and dried. So make sure they are dry before you go gluing anything, because they really won't stick. So yeah, we may as well start. We have the rug dock here, actually. It's the nearest to me. So let's just start off by attaching the body to the legs. And while it's drying, actually, we can move on and do the gang lookout as well. So this guy has a backpack which goes on there. There's two little prongs and there's two little indentations on that, which shows you where it goes. So we shall glue that up. Okay. Try and find the sweet spot where it just stays on. Yeah, helps you put it around the right way around, like that. There we go. Yep, so that pipe lines up with that pipe. Okay, she also has a backpack, which is this one here. So that bit's pointing down, so it goes on that way around, and there's like little indentations of where the straps are. So technically you don't have to stick it on, you could leave it with the backpack off, because all the back detail's actually there. We shall put this on. Like that. So we have the arms for this guy with a square attachment there. So this guy's like looking at his watch or something. Probably like a Apple Watch he's got. And then we've got another square attachment there. If you want to reposition these in any way, you could always just take these little bits off and do that, but it's in a pretty good position anyway, so there we go. Put her arms on now. So she's got this Bionic Arm, and that's got like a little slat attachment in there, and a line there where it sort of attaches onto the slat. If you ever find that the resin's not adhering, scratch it. If it's too smooth, it might not adhere with the glue. But if you're ever at a point where you try and put it on and it keeps falling off, just scratch it with a knife or something to give it some purchase. This one's got like a little indentation as to where the arm touches. That's just because I didn't hold it long enough. There we go. Okay. So we have the head, and there's a little, you see there's a little square at the back. That's to where the little cutout goes. So there we are. And then he has this axe, which is just shown as being attached there. There's no particular attachment on there. Trying to see from the picture which way it goes. it's sort of just forward like that on the picture. I'll attach it. This is kind of optional, the axe, I suppose. You wouldn't need to put this on. And we'll put this on there. So yeah, from the picture it's just sort of attached onto his belt. That works just fine. Now we'll attach her head. She's got another little slat in there for lining the head up. And again there's a little ridge. There we go. So I'm just going to leave them there for a moment. We'll come back and have another look at them at the end. So we'll move on to the higher guns. They're next. These ones are pretty simple to put together. Most of the body is intact, just adding the weapon arms on. So we have this guy with the mask. He's got this spear glaive thing, majig going on. And there's a little line there. Although the thing that attached to it seems a little large. Yeah, it seems a little bit large for the hole. So I'm just going to chop that down a little bit and try to leave a little bit on just to line it up. If that doesn't work, I'll just cut it all off and just stick it on. Yeah, it doesn't want to go. Right, we'll just cut that off then. You could file it down. Try and line this up now. Yeah, there we go. There was still a tiny bit left on to line it up with, but yeah, that was didn't seem to fit in place. So we have another one on this arm. So let's just try and dry fit this first. Yeah, it's got the same problem on that. It's not a good attachment. I don't know whether this is out of line or whether the hole's just not large enough. It could be that, to be fair. So that. It could be that this has got filled in a bit, maybe. Maybe the mould's got a bit damaged. But yeah, I'm just going to make that hole a bit bigger. I'll be back in a second. Okay, yeah, so I've just made that rather than cutting this off. Could have done that with the other arm as well. Okay. Okay. So there we go. Next up we have this guy. Let's just dry fit this first. That one goes on better. So does that one. So let's get these glued on. Oops. Okay, easy enough. Hopefully she's even easier, because it's just the arm that he's going on. It doesn't appear to have an attachment, and I'm wondering if it's the mould's got a bit damaged. Another thing I did with this knife, when I was washing it, I heated the water a little bit and straightened this knife out because it was bent. There we go. Now let's stick onto the bases off camera. Right. So next up we have what's his name? It was Ragnar, wasn't it? Same name as my Valheim character. Right. So this guy, pretty straightforward. The only thing that's a bit different is his gun. His gun's in two parts because he's sort of like loading it. So it has this bit going on. So you could stick it like that so it's loaded, but it is meant to go like that. So let's do that bit first. There's no real sort of attachment, there's just a little groove and then like a little hinge. So just be a case of holding this long enough to let it set. And then putting that on something while it dries. I'll stick the rest of them together. So we have his head, his arm, his backpack. Again, we've got full detail of that. For any reason you didn't want to stick the backpacks on these guys, maybe you've got multiples of the model and just want one to look different, you can get away with that. Okay. Put his arm on. So this doesn't, it's got a bit more movement in it, but it really only just goes in like that, to be fair. And then we have his head. Which again looks like a pretty standard sort of ball joint attachment. I don't know which way he's looking on the picture. Sort of that way, yeah. That was good to me. So, let's leave him there a second. The other thing we've got to attach is this is like an optional lid for that crate. So you can have it on or off or half open. I'm not sure whether these are just like, because I've not really read the rules on the ammo jack. Not sure whether these are just tokens, like dropping ammo or something, or whether they're just fancy. What I'm going to do is sort of glue that so it's open. So you could leave it off, have it by the side if you wanted. Or even close it. Okay, so let's add these other Rama. And I'm doing this pretty quick. I would recommend you give your dudes a few minutes to dry. Not rushing through like this. There we go. That, I think that's right. So he's, I don't know why he's whacking his gun with his wrench. Maybe he's trying to unclog it or something, but there we go. So again, we'll stick him on his base, come back to him at the end. So the last one is Bigby Chrome. Now this is, I'm not going to stick it to that. I'm just going to, because I kind of want to paint that. You know, you can't really see any of it when it's on. You know, there's a lot of detail there. Be a shame just, I mean you could do, you get away with it. I'm not going to. But that will go on there. And then we have the pot. Now these bits are big bits of resin on, you might need to file these down to get them flat. Just gonna glue those two bits together. And the lid, you could just put the lid on, just glue that on there, but then you'd miss all the interior detail. I'm not going to glue the lid on, I am going to glue this little tentacle in place. And the tentacle goes, if you can see the little pool there next to the edge, I believe the tentacle goes there. So I'm gonna, that's not set. Again, this is one of the reasons I put a bit more glue on, and I really need to leave things to set. Yeah, I'll leave that there for now. And glue him together. So we have his ladle. It's called a ladle arm. A tiny little nodule to put it in place. Just dry fitting that. It does seem to go in. I'm going to put that on first. Okay. And he's got his gun, which has a little bit of a cutout where it fits on. So that needs to go on there. Properly would be good. And then that's when you stick it to yourself. That's when you've used too much glue. Go in place. Now think about this. It looks like the gun is going, even on the picture, it looks like the gun's lower than the base. Yeah, no, it's not. It's just the way I was looking at it. Then we'll add the head on. Sink on there. There we go. So is that dry yet? That's better. Get that onto there. So we have the little tentacle coming out. And then you won't be able to put the lid on solidly, but you can always have it. Have it with the tentacle coming out if you wanted. I'm going to leave the lid off. Might use a little bit of tack, glue tack or something underneath that just to hold it in place. Might do the same on that when they're painted. But there we go. So let me stick these to the bases and one last look at them. Okay, so now the models are done. That was relatively fast. So have a quick last look at them. So we've got the gang lookout, and there he is, talking on his comms to somebody. Then we have the rogue doc. These aren't anyone in particular, so they're just, sounds nasty that, but no, they're just models you can add into your gang. There's no rules with them. You only get the build rules. There's nothing with those guys. But we do have the rules for the other ones, so we'll have a quick look at those. So first up is Yolanda Scorn, who is the hired gun. There she is again. Very nice models, these ones. And I like the fact they're mainly just one model. There's hardly any add-ons to them. But there is the rules if you've not already seen it. That's what you're looking at. Feel free to pause the camera, have a good read. But yeah, so 230 credits coming in there. Next up in this little booklet, we have Grub Targison Hive Scum, who I believe is this guy. So he's just some hive scum. Any old hive scum. There we go. So again, you wouldn't have to use these name characters if you didn't want to. You could just hire a hive scum and give him a shotgun and use this model. But if you want to use a name character, there's the sheet. And then finally, we have Mad Dog Mono. There he is. Mad Dog Mono, 90 credits. Again, hive scum, so just some dude. And there's a little bit of background for each one in there. I'll not spoil that one. But they are in the books. So next up we have Ragnar Gunstein. So there is the model. He's reloading his shotgun or whatever he's got. Is it a shotgun? Could be a grenade launcher actually. No, it's a shotgun. There is, he's only 100 credits, but there is his stat card. And he counts as an ammo jack, so that's on page 85 of the Necromunda Gangs of the 105 rulebook. He's a gang fighter and he has surplus ammo, which is what the 3 crates are for. So you roll D3 and that's the ammo caches that he gets. There's the rules for that. And then finally we have Bigby Crumb, Rattling Slopper. And we have his slot pot there. And he has the slot pot rules. So you can end up having Stinger, Sport Stew, or Friends and Fondue, or Tentacle Surprise. He's a slopper just like any other slopper part of the crew. So there he is. Those are his stat card. 50 points. 50 credits, should I say. 50 credits well spent, I would say. And then we have the special rules there, so feel free to pause, peruse them. Hopefully you can see them. This is in this weird white and black font. But there we go, so those are the models. I hope it was worth the wait. Very quick to put together, kind of glad of that. So there we go, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, because it helps out loads, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. I will be getting some more Necromunda models soon. I want to get those extra cats and stuff, so next time I have a build up of Forge World models lying around, we'll do another video. Hopefully not as long this time, but there we go. So you guys take care for now, and hopefully see you again soon. Bye for now.